So, good afternoon everyone. Today I will going to tackle about the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016, or also known as Republic Act of 1816. So, it was enacted in May 16, 2016 by the principal author Senador Cynthia Villar. She was a chair Senate in Agriculture and Food Committee. So she leads launching of Farm Tourism Initiative at Department of Tourism in Makati City. So both legislators strongly advocate the development of farm tourism as profitable business proposition of farmers and farm owners by converting their farms into farm tourism destination and also to help train the young people in farming endeavor. So according to Talavera 2019, there are more than 170 farm tourism accredited of Department of Tourism and almost of them are located in Luzon areas. So sa Section 2 na ating Declaration Policy, so base sa study ni Briones 2017, sa Philippines daw, there are almost half of the population na gapuyo sa rural areas. Then, ang ilang primary source of income is ang pag-farm. So, among them are kasagari is kaning mga indigenous people, mga landless farmers, and marginalized people. Then, first we have disseminate the value of agriculture in the economic and cultural development of the country. So, our country is, archipelago siya. So, it has rich in natural resources, like abundant of agricultural produce, rich in cultural heritage, and ideal sceneries. So, this could be used in addressing the relevant issue in our country, particularly in agricultural industry, for proper utilization of natural resources and to help maintain the value of our cultural heritage through ang government is nag-implement sila og atong Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016 to preserve the traditional farming practices and also the agriculture will contribute 10% to GDP. And next is to provide additional income for farmers, farm workers, and fisher folk. Because of low agricultural outputs, Department of Tourism draws farm tourism as a farm diversification strategy to supplement income in rural communities. So, nasa lagi nakoan sa farm tourism. For example, here in Bukidnon, nasa mga activities such as fruit picking, horseback riding, cow milking, hiking, trekking, and farm-to-table dining experience. Kana siya na mga activities is na siya kanang ang uban is kuan sila og fees. So kana is maka-generate sila og income and also maka-generate pud sila og employment sa atong mga farmers og katong mga marginalized people. Then next is to promote health and wellness with high-quality farm-produced food. So example here is katong mga horseback riding and animal feeding. This would makatabang siya og to enhance mental and physical well-being sa atong mga tourist. Then moves to provide alternative recreation facilities and farm tourism activities for families. Here is it emphasizes the bonds of families and quality time by appreciating agricultural sceneries and activities. For example is pineapple plantation in Maramag and Manolo Fortich. So they offer farm tour, picnics, and fruit picking. Then sa cacao farm in Malaybalay City, gakuan sila og chocolate making and farm tour also. Then ang sa coffee farm nag-offered sila og coffee processing demonstrations and tasting. Na-locate siya in Kadingilan and Valencia City.
So, hi everyone, I am Kizalov Kita. So, for today, I will discuss to you about the Section 3 definitions of terms in Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016 or RA 10816. So, as you can see in the screen, we have 6 definitions of terms. First, we have a farm tourism. So, farm tourism, it is a visiting farms for learning, recreation, and relaxation and promoting agriculture and fisheries. So second, we have the farm tourism activities. It is the experiences on the farms such as educational sessions, recreation activities, or learning that lecture pursuits. So third, we have a farm tourism camp. It is a farm areas where visitors can participate in any activities or learn about rural lifestyle and enjoying outdoor recreation. Fourth, we have a farm tourism operator. It is the farm manager or owner siya sa farm tourism camp. It is siya ang in charge in overall activities. Then next, we have is farm tourism practitioners. It is someone offering farm tourism activities. So lastly, we have the accreditation. It is the official certification of a farm tourism camp meets minimum standards. So in simpler terms, farm tourism is about visiting farms for fun and experiences. Then ga-engage po sila og mga activities, any farm activities. Then lastly is ga-explore po sila og mga rural lifestyle and recreation. So these definitions I have mentioned aim to promote sustainable agriculture, education, and community development of farm tourism. So after the section 3 in the RA 10816, I will discuss to you now about the section 4, the the Farm Tourism Strategic Action Plan. It's a comprehensive roadmap for growing farm tourism in the Philippines. It's designed to promote agriculture, fisheries, and rural development while showcasing the country's natural beauty. So the key areas of focus is we have the investment and financing. It's encouraging investments and providing financial support for farm tourism projects. Next, we have the market research and trends, studying market trends, innovations, and information to stay competitive. Next, we have the accreditation, ensuring farm tourism camps meets quality standards. So I have mentioned this in the section 3, which is the definitions of terms. Isa ni siya ang accreditation. Next is we have the market promotion. It's developing marketing strategies to attract domestic and international tourists. So next we have also the agricultural and fishery research, conducting research and development to improve agricultural practices. Next, also, we have the institutional development, building capacity and expertise among stakeholders. And lastly, we have the infrastructure support, improving infrastructure to support farm tourism growth. We also have the roles and responsibilities. Isa na dira ang LGUs, which is the local government units. We have also the national government agencies, farm tourism operators, tour operators, educational institutions, and the industry stakeholders. So the plans aims to integrate farm tourism into the National Tourism Development Plan, promoting sustainable tourism practices and community development. By working together, stakeholders can create a thriving farm tourism industry that benefits both ang farmer and the tourist.
Hi, my name is Jericho Rebawan. The section that I will discuss is the section 5. The details of the section 5 is creation of the Farm Tourism Development Board to ensure the attainment of the objective of this act. There is hereby created the Farm Tourism Development Board, herein referred to as the board, which shall be attached to the Department of Tourism or DOT. The board shall formulate plans and program for the development and promotion of farm tourism in the country and shall set the overall direction for the farm implementation of the plan. The board shall have the following powers and function. First is formulate, advocate, coordinate, and assess the implementation of the Farm Tourism Strategic Action Plan. This provision emphasizes the role of the Farm Tourism Development Board in creating a comprehensive plan for farm tourism in the country. It involves advocacy to promote farm tourism, coordination with various stakeholders, and overseeing the execution of the action plan. The board is also tasked with evaluating the effectiveness of the plan and making adjustments to ensure it aligns with national development and goals sustainability. Second is increase awareness on the value of farm tourism through advocacy, campaigns, and marketing activities. The board is responsible for raising public awareness about the benefits of farm tourism both for local communities and the economy. These include conducting campaigns and marketing strategy to inform the public about farm tourism, educational, cultural, and economic value. The goal is to boost the participation of both tourism and farmers, fostering a deeper appreciation for sustainable farming practices. The third is recommendation infrastructure project and transportation program for the funding by the DOT, the Department of Agriculture or DA, the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, the Department of Public Works and Highway, the Department of Transportation and Communication, and other concerned government agencies. In this role, the board suggests infrastructure and transportation improvement to support farm tourism. These recommendations are aimed at enhancing accessibility to farm tourism sites, ensuring tourists can easily visit rural areas. The board work with multiple government agencies to secure funding and develop projects that will improve roads, facilities, and transportation system, ultimately boosting farm tourism. Fourth is formulate and oversee the conduct of farm tourism research and development project to ensure sustainability of the country farm tourism program, such as on market research and trends in innovation and information dissemination, financing requirements, industry, manpower development, resource productivity and utilization, improvement and sustainability agriculture practice, and education. This function focuses on continuous research and development to enhance the sustainability of the farm tourism. The board will investigate market trends, develop innovative approaches, and study the financing needs of the industry. It will also focus on improving the productivity and sustainability of farming practices while promoting education about sustainable agriculture, ensuring the long-term viability of the farm tourism sector. Fifth is create technical panels, working groups, or task force that will assist the board in the performance of its function. The board can create a specialized team to help tackle specific tasks and challenges related to farm tourism. This team will bring in expert knowledge and support to make sure the board's work is carried out effectively, ensuring that the farm tourism grows and thrives with the right skills and focus. Sixth is establish cooperation among and or request the assistance of department bureaus, offices, agencies, or instrumentalists of the government, farm tourism stakeholders, financial and educational institutions, non-government organization, people's organization, and other like-minded institutions and individuals in the implementation of its function and the attainment of the objective of the Act. The board will work together with various government bodies, private sectors, group, NGOs, educational institutions, and others to build strong partnership by collaborating with these different organizations and individuals. The board can pool resources and expertise to effectively promote farm tourism and achieve its goal. Lastly, perform such other powers and functions which shall advance the development and promotion of farm tourism camps and activities. The board is also given the flexibility to take on new roles or tasks as needed to support farm tourism. This means they can adapt to new opportunities, address emerging challenges, and introduce fresh ideas that will help farm tourism continue to grow and success in the long term.
Good morning everyone. My name is Winston Emilgar and I will be tackle the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016, Section 6 composition. Before that, the Farm Tourism Development Board is promotes and develops farm tourism to support rural economic development, to promote agricultural education and awareness, to foster sustainable tourism practices, and enhance cultural exchange between farmers and tourists. Now, the composition of this Section 6 is the chairperson, which is Secretary of the Department of Tourism, or that the vice chairperson is Secretary of the Department of Agriculture, which is the DA, and the member is Secretary of Department of Trade and Industry, President of Educational Institution which with farm tourism programs and identified by that and DA. Third, the President of National Farm Tourism Organization, President of National Inbound Tour Operators Association, and last is the President of Natural Federation of Farmers Corporations. The benefits of farm tourism is economic benefits for rural communities, agricultural education and awareness, sustainable tourism practices, fourth is cultural exchange and community engagement, and last is the market access for farm products. There are the farm tourism practices. First is agritourism, second ecotourism, third rural tourism, fourth sustainable agriculture, fifth community-based tourism. And also the challenges and opportunities of this act. First is infrastructure, second is marketing and promotion, third capacity building for farmers and tour operators, fourth is policy support and fundings, fifth is ensuring sustainable practices.
Section 7, Board Secretariat. The content of this section is, there shall be a Board Secretariat to be composed of the DOT, Office of Tourism Development Planning, Research and Information Management, and other technical personnel of the DOT, the DA and the DTI as assigned by their respective secretaries. The Director of the Office of Tourism Development Planning, Research and Information Management shall head the Board Secretariat. This established a Board Secretariat responsible for supporting the Board work. This team include members from the Department of Tourism or DOT, especially the Office of Tourism Development Planning, Research and Information Management, plus additional technical staff from the Department of Agriculture or DA and Department of Trade and Industry. The Director of the DOT Office of Tourism Development Planning leads this secretariat.
So now let's proceed to the section number 8 of the Republic Act number 10816. So this section actually focuses on encouraging investments in farm tourism by creating financial support and incentives. So first, let's discuss the key players of this Farm Tourism Development Act. So here we have the DOT or the Department of Tourism, who handles the tourism development, and also the Department of Agriculture, who focuses on supporting the agricultural side, and also the Department of Trade and Industry, who helps develop trade and industry in the farm tourism sector. So these departments will work together to connect farm owners with financial institution and investment opportunities. So in this section, I will talk about the access to credit and loans. So the law asks banks and other lenders to offer special loans or credit windows to farmers who want to join farm tourism. So for example, the Land Bank of the Philippines and also the Development Bank of the Philippines were actually mentioned here in the book and also in our PowerPoint, because they are government banks that already support agriculture. So, and also gin-encourage po sila nung kanang mag-open po sila og mga specific loan programs for farms na ganing gusto mo expand into tourism, and also other lenders such as mga private banks, mga cooperatives, and other financial groups na ganing ma-encourage po sila bang to participate no sa kaning butang. And also this will really help the farmers ganing they will have a variety of choices for financial assistance to improve ang ilang or to expand ang ilang mga farms for tourism. And also we'll talk about the investment incentives. So kani siya no, the Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority, or the TIEZA, no, and the Board of Investment, or the BOI, are tasked with creating investment incentives for farm tourism. So the incentives that I am talking about here is that the benefits no nga makuha sa farmers and sa investors, like tax reductions, grants, or other kanang perks that make it easier and cheaper for people to invest. So this actually incentives no will really attract no, it aims to attract investors na kaning put og money, mag-invest no sa kaning farm tourism. For example, no, if I am a businessman, I might invest in building a new visitor center on the farm because he knows, or I know that I'll be getting kanang tax breaks. And also no, by offering these kind of benefits no, the government makes it attractive for more people no na mag-invest aning kaning sa mga farms no for tourism. And also lastly no, the goal jud ani is to make farm tourism financially possible and attractive, kay makatabang jud ni siya sa farmer nga maka-access sila loans and maka-offer po siya mga kanang investment no nga kanang benefits no. So kanang ganing when you invest to this thing no, kanang ganing na-reduce na bang financial risk no, not just the investors but also sa mga farmers na gusto i-turn nilang farm for tourism. And again, aside from that, no, boost po ng kanang rural income. So by allowing kanang farms to attract and charge tourists, like in Baguio. So picking kanang harvesting mga I mean strawberries, no. So kana siya. So gabayad ang mga tourists dito no sa pagpanguha og kanang pag-harvest og cherries and kanang strawberries, I mean. So isa po to siya no, it's kanang way no nga kanang ganing maka-generate og income no sa mga farmers. And of course no, it kanang provide po siya kanang job opportunities, and also it promotes agriculture, and lastly it encourages sustainable tourism no that supports local communities. So before I end, I just also want to share my kanang experience as a member of the association, the Kasama Ka Association, or Kapunungan sa Muguma Association. So actually there are numerous benefits nga ako pong nakuha, such as mga kanang youth forum seminars 2 months ago no. We went to Davao. Actually everything is kanang from the accommodation, transportation, everything is free. So kanang siya isa po na siya no. And na youth forum dito ang nahitabo, and of course na collaboration no sa mga ahensya ng gobyerno no, like the DTI no, DTI Rapid Growth, and then the DA, the ATI, and other departments no. So kato when I went there, actually ang nahitabo dito no, the government encourages us, the youth no, in this generation, to really kanang continue our journey no sa kanang pagtake ang kaning agriculture, because you know there's a study that the decline ang number sa atong mga farmers here in the Philippines, and most likely no mga farmers nga nabilin is mga idara na. So that's why this kanang farm tourism development is actually very helpful, because again more likely ang ganahan mo sa mga kabatanon ron is that you know nature no, actually mas ganahan ko kanang relaxing na, and kanang ganing for Instagram, for kanang ganing ma-share nimo sa social media. So makita na to that the young generation today kay kanang more into social media na sila, so they can use this kanang farm tourism, ang kaning mga farm tourism no nga kanang ma-promote good ni siya sa kanang social media, since most likely no mga tao is na sa social media. So and kato this farm tourism development will also help no nga mabalik pa ring interest sa mga kabatan-unan when it comes to agriculture.
Hi guys, I'm Razel Sigaliao. I'll be discussing the section 9 entitled Market Research and Information. In the first paragraph of this section, it explains that the responsibilities of the Department of Tourism, or DOT, Office of Tourism Development Planning, an agricultural training institute or ATE of the Department of Agriculture or DA is to conduct research and studies related to farm tourism. These studies include analyzing market trends, innovations, industry workforce needs, sustainable agricultural practices, and other relevant issues identified by the governing board. The goal is to gather essential data to support the development and improvement of farm tourism and its integration with sustainable agricultural practices. While on its second paragraph, it highlights the collaboration between the Department of Tourism or DOT and the Department of Agriculture or DA to create and maintain a comprehensive information system for farm tourism. This system will help the government in planning and developing farm tourism initiatives, while also enabling industry stakeholders to better meet market demands. The information system will include a range of data such as details on farm tourism locations, activities, market research, transportation options, publications, and other relevant materials as identified by the governing board. The centralized information will support strategic decision-making and improve the overall development of the farm tourism sector.
Section 10. Accreditation of farm tourism camps. Section 10 of the law provides the guidelines for the accreditation of farm tourism camps. So, the Department of Tourism or the DOT and the Department of Agriculture or the DA are the partner agencies responsible for developing and enforcing the standards for accrediting farm tourism camps. So, these standards focus on the quality, safety, and the experience of visitors or the tourists. So, they may include these aspects such as the cleanliness, appropriate facilities, and the quality service to ensure a safe and meaningful experience sa farm. So, accreditation is voluntary, meaning farm tourism camps are not required to register. However, accreditation offers benefits such as the eligibility for the DOT and the DA programs and enhance the credibility with the tourists. So, accreditation is valid for 2 years, after which farms must reapply to ensure the continued compliance with the standards. So, if a farm tourism camps does not comply with the standards, its accreditation may be suspended or permanently revoked. So, this ensures the quality and safety of the services for tourists and help maintain the good reputation of the farm tourism sector of the country.
So next is the section 11, which is all about, or it focuses on market promotion and development of the Farm Tourism Development Act, which is focused on the promoting farm tourism across the Philippines. So the main goal here is to increase awareness of farm tourism and attract more visitors by including farm tourism in the marketing programs. Or we have the mga agencies no as what I've mentioned earlier in the section 8 no mga key players, the Department of Tourism, no the Department of Agriculture, the DTI or Department of Trade and Industry, even the DTI Rapid Growth, and also the LGUs no who are responsible for promoting farm tourism. So these agencies actually will help no market farm tourism sites no ensuring they're included in tourism materials, advertisement, and events. So the goal here is just sa kaning section is that farm tourism sites no nga atong mga farm tourism nga mga area no ma-future siya no sa local and international nga mga conferences, no trade fairs and exhibits. Like for example no sa atong Philippine Coffee Expo no actually naka-join ko ato because of the kanang sa help pod no ni DTI Rapid Growth no so nakatuog Makati no last June, and of course ito na promote no si Bukidnon and other region no and provinces no. So and also this will kanang give farms kanang exposure no sa not just sa mga Filipinos but also sa kanang foreign tourists, and this can really boost no kanang visitor numbers and also income. So next is let's proceed to the agriculture and technical training institution support. So we have here the ATI and TESDA. So si ATI will encourage farm tourism sites to become learning centers where visitors can learn about sustainable agriculture. So diri it will allow farms nga mag-educate good sa public, especially sa mga tourists nga maging ganing they'll learn sustainable farming practices, and even si TESDA will accredit farm tourism site as technical vocational institution ng mga tao, or I mean the people kung asa makatuon sila dito about agriculture and tourism skills. This could mean that kanang offering short courses on farming or managing farm tourism businesses. So this is actually a big help maka-open ta og another educational ganing site, and of course there will be a lot na ma-interested ani, like for example here in Pangantukan. So we have here the BMMPC or the Lake Napalit, if I don't know if you're familiar with that. So actually nasa yung mga educational nga mga kinatudlo diha nga basic knowledge like about coffee, and also assistance in marketing farm products. So of course isa na sa mga trabaho ni DTI, Department of Industry, and also the DA. So again, as I mentioned earlier, napo na yung mga websites and social media ang kaning mga agencies, government agencies, where they can promote ang kanang mga farm products sa atong mga farmers. And also the DOT, ma-future po nila ni sa ang kaning farm tourism nga mga brochures makakita ta na many, especially if you visit sa kanang mga DTI na mga kanang office. Actually dahan ka makita di ang mga brochure, even in their websites they're full of kanang mga information na atong pwede malantaw, and even for international tourism events it will help attract both local and foreign tourists dyan. And also the PIA, or the Philippine Information Agency, could really run ads or campaigns on a television or radio, or maybe on social media, since most likely the people na nandiyan sa social media. So pwede kanila ma-promote ng farm tourism and encouraging people dyan to really visit, to really learn mga sustainable agriculture, mga organic farming techniques, and many more. So actually before I end this, this section is very, very important because it helps farm tourism sites maka-reach a larger audience, because it will not just boost our economy, but also it will help local farmers. It will help sa kanang sa rural areas ba nga most likely man gud ang nasa rural mo balhin og kanang sa syudad, because na mga job opportunities. But because of this kaning farm tourism development, maka-open jud siya job opportunities para dili na mo adto si farmer or mga taga rural area mo ato di na sa mo sa syudad para mangitag trabaho ba. But in the kuan pa lang sila palang farm, they can actually make money na dito that can makasustain po silang mga needs.
Section 12 focuses on research, development, and extension. It tasks government agencies to identify the technology needs for farm tourism, conduct research, and share the findings with the relevant stakeholders. They also provide trainings and support for farm tourism operators and cooperatives.
In Section 13 of the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016, institutional and human resource development is emphasized to enhance the knowledge and skills of individuals and institutions involved in farm tourism. So it focuses on providing training, knowledge, and essential skills to support the sustainable growth of farm tourism industry. So government agencies such as the Department of Tourism or the DOT, Department of Agriculture, the DA, Department of Trade and Industry, the DTI, Department of Science and Technology, the DOST, Commission on Higher Education, the CHED, and the TESDA, state universities and colleges or the SUCS, and the private educational and research institutions and other private sector groups are tasked with creating and implementing institutional and human resource development programs. So these programs aims to support the growth of farm tourism through the following: So first is ang capacity building for farm tourism operators. So capacity building involves the training and enhancing the capabilities of farm tourism operators to meet the accreditation standards from DOT, the Agricultural Training Institute or the ATI and TESDA. So this aims to help the farm tourism operators qualify for programs and standards set for tourism enterprises, extension services providers, and technical vocational institutions. So next is ang technical vocational education and training for farm tourism workers. So technical vocational education focuses on providing practical skills and knowledge for those working in farm tourism. So the goal is to enhance the productivity and adherence the best practices in agriculture, animal husbandry, and manufacturing, including compliance with food safety, health, hygiene, and proper hospitality management standards. Next is ang development of competency standards and training regulations. So the agencies are responsible for creating competency standards and training regulations for the programs related to farm tourism. So this serves as the guidelines for training and teaching necessary skills in farm tourism industry. So and can provide a basis for courses offered to students and practitioners in this sector. Next is ang capability building for local government units or the LGUs. Capability building is focused on the educating and enhancing the skills of local government units so they can effectively support the promotion, development, and sustainability of the farm tourism camps and related activities. So this helps LGUs gain knowledge and skills to manage farm tourism projects and promote sustainable development within their communities.
In Section 14, it outlines the responsibility of several government agencies, specifically the Department of Public Works and Highways or DPWH, the Department of Transportation and Communications or DOTC, the Department of Agriculture or DA, and other relevant infrastructure agencies to include farm tourism related infrastructures and transportation projects in their annual development plans and investment programs. This project aims to improve access to farm tourism sites. Additionally, the Department of Tourism or DOT and the DA are tasked with coordinating with these agencies to ensure the infrastructure needs of both existing and potential farm tourism sites are addressed, helping to facilitate growth in this sector.
So next is Section 15. So Section 15 talks about the specific rules and guidelines to implement the Farm Tourism Development Act. The Tourism Infrastructure and Enterprise Zone Authority Board, in cooperation with government agencies, local government unit, and representative from the farm tourism industry, is responsible for developing these rules and regulations. They have 90 days from the time the law takes effect to complete this task. These rules will provide clear framework for the development and promotion of farm tourism industry in the Philippines.
Section 16. Repealing Clause. All laws, decrees, execution orders, rules, and regulations and other issuance or part thereof, inconsistent with the provision of this Act, are hereby repealed or modified accordingly. This section essentially acts as a clean slate for farm tourism legislation. It ensures that any older laws, rules, or regulations that might conflict with the new Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016 are either completely revoked or adjusted to align with the provision of the new law. This step is crucial to avoid confusion and ensures the smooth implementation of the new law.
Hello once again. For the Section 17 of the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016, also known as the Separability Clause, is to ensure that if any part of provision of the Act is declared unconstitutional or invalid, the remaining parts of provision will continue to be in full force and effect. This means that even if one aspect of the law is challenged or found to be unlawful, the rest of the law remains enforceable. The purpose of this clause is to prevent the entire law from being invalidated due to a single flaw of provision, thereby maintaining the overall integrity and effectiveness of the Farm Tourism Development Act. This is a common legal provision used in many laws to ensure continuity and stability.
Section 18. Effectivity. This act shall take effect 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or in a nation newspaper of general circulation. So this section outlines when the Farm Tourism Development Act of 2016 will officially take effect. It will become law 15 days after its publication in the official gazette or a widely circulated newspaper. This delay period allows for the dissemination of information about the new law, ensuring that all stakeholders, including farmers, tourists, and government agencies, are aware of its provision and can prepare accordingly.